What's up everyone, welcome back to more Reddit stories about Karens, entitled people, and all that kind of stuff. Hope you're all doing awesome today, and as usual, it's time to check out some more Reddit posts. So feel free to share your thoughts about today's stories down in the comments, and we're getting right into it. She ended up begging me to stop hacking her website. This is my freelance revenge story that happened about 8 years ago, and it was one of the first times I was ghosted without pay. I created a landing page for her elven symbol jewelry store. A bunch of esoteric BS, but I was young and trying to break into copywriting, so I took any deal I could. We agreed on a pure performance deal, so I got nothing up front, but we settled on a 5% performance fee. Her WordPress store was really small, and I was aiming to get $300 to $800 out of it, but honestly, at some level, I would have been happy to just do it for practice in my portfolio. Long story short, I wrote the landing page and built it inside her WordPress site. She started running some Facebook ads to it, and I was shocked to see that it was actually converting. $120 on day 1, $200 on day 2, $150 on day 3, $360 on day 4, etc. By the end of the month, the landing page brought in $6,000 in revenue. I honestly thought I struck gold. $300 in royalties in the first month? I was going to make bank from 2 days of work. Well, predictably, she disappeared the moment I mentioned first invoice. 3 months go by. Nothing. No replies to emails, calls go unanswered. She's still running ads. I can see all the sales coming in because I still have access to her website. Then out of nowhere, I get a panicked message. My site is down. Are you doing this? Please stop. Now, I had nothing to do with her store going down. Probably just her cheap hosting. But after being ghosted for months while she made thousands off my work, I knew this could be my one and only shot at getting paid. So I decided to play along. But I had to be careful. I couldn't just admit in writing that I'm the hacker and threaten her to pay up. What if she went to the police and showed them the messages? No, I knew I had to make her think I was, but not admit to anything at the same time. So I replied, "Sorry, but I'm not going to talk to you until you pay me what you owe me." This turned out to be the perfect level of vague. I never said I hacked her site. I never threatened to keep it down. I just looked suspicious as hell. She immediately called me and asked me what I want. I told her I still have access to her website and Google Analytics. I can see what she made off of the landing page and that I want what we agreed on, 5% of sales from that landing page. It ended up being just shy of $1,500. She said she'll take care of it. We got off the call. I sent her the final invoice and she wired the money immediately. She then messaged me with a payment confirmation from her bank and asked me to enable her website. It worked. I was shaking when I typed back this reply. "I had nothing to do with your website crashing. You should talk to your hosting provider." I never heard from her again. This is honestly great because OP barely had to do anything. Her own guilty conscience just handled it all. All OP had to do was to just be vague enough for her to convince herself of what's going on, while also keeping everything legal so nothing would actually come back on OP. Coworker surprised her 4D chess move didn't play out as expected. A coworker, Nancy, and I got hired the same week to join a team of 3 led by a GM. As soon as we sat down with our coworkers for the first time, Allie, the most senior member of the team, immediately lets us know how horrible our boss is, how we have to watch out for ourselves and be aware of the hypocrisy and stupidity. She laid it on pretty thick, making it seem like we made the worst possible decision by getting hired. There was a moment of uh-oh between me and Nancy about what clusterfuck of a job we landed ourselves in. Then we discovered that Allie does absolutely nothing all day. Since we have flexible hours, 7 to 10 to 3 to 6. She clocks in at 7, waits 3 hours, doing absolutely nothing, then goes on a coffee break at 10 when our boss clocks in, and doesn't return until 1, which coincides with our lunch hour. She then returns to do 1 to 2 hours of work and clocks out at 3. We have 4 major events we host throughout the year. Allie plans her vacations to coincide with it. Honestly, we commended her on, quote, sticking it to our boss and cheesing her way through work. Why break your back over someone who is clearly horrible? Our boss is a bit much sometimes, temperamental and moody, but not completely unmanageable. Then the annual evaluations came in, and Allie became hysterical. She's gotten 1s across the board. Her bonus becomes critically impacted. She throws a fit, notifying the head of HR and letting anyone with a sympathetic ear know the injustice that was committed. She tells us she's applying elsewhere, that she's done with this job. She goes from at least partially working to nothing at all. She comes to work to collect a paycheck and that's it. The new year rolls around. Shockingly, she never got a job offer, and our first major event of the year is coming up. Like clockwork, she puts forth her vacation, but this time it gets rejected, thus ensuring another fit and cry over the injustices. Allie has already booked. Everything is paid for. Her husband got his time off approved. Another trip to the head of HR. Allie gets to go on her trip, personally approved by HR, and she's smug upon her return. HR told her she's getting a new boss and gleefully tells us about how our boss is clearly going to be replaced. This didn't end up happening. Instead, HR tells us how our department will split into two. They are looking to transfer half the team to the new department. Coincidentally, a different coworker is being let go during a round of layoffs. Allie thinks this is her moment. She signs up to transfer to the new department, and she is convinced this will make our boss fight for her. After all, it would only be me and Nancy, the two newest and most inexperienced members left. Obviously, our boss would fight tooth and nail to keep her, then have the department shrink down to just 2 people. Except our boss doesn't take the bait and personally approves the transfer. Allie is notified by HR via email. Another fit ensues. Our department was originally something like A and B department, and now A and B are separated. Well, Allie based her entire career on B and not A. She thinks A is entirely in a different field. It's not, really, and that HR has condemned her to an early career death of stagnation, completely forgetting that she literally signed up for it in the first place. She goes down to HR again, who is no longer willing to hear her out. She comes crying to us, and we try to be sympathetic, but we have actual work to do. She ends up having a new GM for that department, and he's not so willing to accept the extended coffee and lunch breaks. He gets to work just as early as she does and makes sure to send her some work to do that keeps her busy, much to her horror. I was arrested for preventing my property from being stolen. I was at North Park Mall in Dallas this week with a friend when I noticed my car keys and wallet were missing. I do not know where or how they went missing, but I immediately walked out to my car. My friend told me to come 5 lanes over and watch for someone pinging my car. Sure enough, about 20 to 40 minutes later, I saw the lights and horn honk on my car a few dozen times before I saw someone come over to it. I walked up to interrupt the guy and he stopped and turned around to walk away. My wallet was in his hand and so were my keys, so I drew my gun and told him to stop. My friend went the other way and blocked him from the other side. Well, anyone who knows North Park knows where this is going. About less than a minute later, police officers were yelling at me to drop the pistol and to get on the ground. The police detained the 3 of us, and soon determined that the car, wallet, keys, and $500 in cash the guy had on him was mine. They saw the license to carry I had in my wallet, and told me that since I pulled my gun when I did not have my wallet on me, I was not properly licensed to carry a pistol. I called bullcrap on it, as it is obvious they were making that up. I am arrested anyway. My friend is free to go, but since he is not insured on my car, they, quote, have to tow it, even though he could have driven it himself. I was taken to the station and put in a holding cell for about an hour or 2 before I was released with no charges. Not one police officer talked to me while there outside of telling me I could go. They hand me my phone and wallet back. They told me my gun was in property and gave me a location of where I could go request it back. The car is in the impound and will require impound fees to be paid. I went Friday and was able to head to the gun store where I bought the pistol and got a reprint of the receipt. I made an appointment and was able to get it returned with very little hassle. I was told on the phone I would need an insurance card to get my car released from the Dallas Auto Pound, as well as my driver's license. I arrived with my insurance card and license, only to be told I would need a copy of the title as well. I head back to the tax office and get that, only to learn it is now too late to get the car back. We'll have to get it Monday while fees are being racked up. I am beyond furious here. Obviously, I am going to be out of pocket on everything. Since my pistol and all other property was returned to me, I am guessing that I am pretty much free and clear criminally, as the police usually do not release firearms if there is an ongoing criminal case. I am mainly concerned about the money. It's not going to break my bank, but 4 days worth of impound fees are going to get expensive real quick. Edit. I figured I would have to do this. I could have legally shot him in the back if he tried to run away with my property. It's Texas. If you run away and drop my property, I cannot shoot you. If you run away with my property, then the law says it's okay. And they cite the specific Texas Penal Code to back that up. Now it's obvious that the police didn't really have anything to charge OP with, given that they just let him go, after arresting him and keeping him in a holding cell, that is. This sort of scenario is both aggravating and kinda hilarious. That the cops would arrest someone for pulling out a firearm without a license on a thief, because the thief stole his license and has it in his possession. This is the kind of situation where you would hope the cops would be reasonable and understand a bit of nuance with this kind of thing. What in the world would make them want to arrest OP over this in the first place? After finding the stolen wallet and license to carry on the thief, you would think that they would understand pretty quickly and not feel any reason to arrest OP. Such a weird scenario. My neighbor blocked my driveway one too many times, so I had his car towed during his Tinder date. For context, my neighbor is the type of guy who thinks rules are for other people. An arrogant 6-feet-something hunk in his mid-20s. He constantly parks in front of my driveway, fully blocking it, despite multiple warnings, notes, and in-person, "Hey man, seriously, stop," conversations. His excuse? I'm just here for a bit. A bit apparently means an eternity. 3 to 5 hours every damn time. Last week I come home and surprise, he's there again, blocking my driveway with his crusty silver sedan. I see him through his window getting ready, cologne and everything. He's going out. I decide tonight's the night. So I do what I should have done weeks ago. I call a tow truck. No warnings or notes. Got it towed straight up. About 45 minutes later, I'm sitting on my porch drinking a beer when a random girl walks up the sidewalk, clearly dressed for a date. She knocks on his door. He comes out smiling, then sees his car is gone. She's confused. He's flipping out. He starts looking around like someone robbed him. I casually say, "If you're looking for your car, it got towed. You were blocking my driveway. Again." He tries to argue, but the girl just says, "Wait, you parked in front of his driveway?" He tries to explain, but she just says, "Wow, that's trash," and walks off. I haven't seen him block my driveway since, and he never called another girl home after that. His confidence took a major hit. Anyway guys, that's going to be all for today. Thank you for watching, I appreciate it. Be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed and share your thoughts down in the comments. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time.